Tzu Chi volunteers in the Dominican Republic hold the first aid distribution for Hurricane Maria victims. Tzu Chi volunteers in China promote recycling on Fujian's Gulangyu island of the National Day holidays. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Sue. Thank you for joining us. In September, Hurricane Maria devastated the Caribbean, causing severe damage to several countries, including the Dominican Republic. After floodwater receded, Tzu Chi volunteers in the Dominican Republic conducted disaster assessment. Then on October 8th, they held a first aid supply distribution in Ramon Santana, helping 215 families. Hurricane Maria devastated Dominican Republic, causing catastrophic damages. Local Tzu Chi volunteers originally planned to assess damages after the hurricane left. However, they waited for a week to go to the disaster areas because the water has not receded. The volunteers conduct disaster assessments twice. First, they go to niches where residents mostly farm or fish for a living. Since their houses are in good conditions, the residents mostly suffer from loss of belongings. Then the volunteers also go to Ramon Santana to assess damages. This area has been devastated due to rise of river water. After assessing damages, the volunteers distribute aid supplies on October 8th. The distribution is held at a local gym. The volunteers give out rice, daily supplies, and cleaning tools for 215 families. In addition, they give out stationery and shoes to the affected students. At the event, the volunteers introduced Tzu Chi and encouraged people to help other less fortunate people. Tzu Chi volunteers will also care for other disaster areas after this distribution. If necessary, they will continue to assess damages and distribute aid supplies. Deepavali is one of the three major annual celebrations for people from India. This year's event takes place on October 18th. With the festival approaching, Tzu Chi Kuala Lumpur and Selangor chapter volunteers held a celebration at Kuala Lumpur's Jinsi Hall. The event allowed care recipients to feel some warmth and take home something to help them during this holiday period.
To create a special Indian style, volunteers arrive early at the Kuala Lumpur Jinsi Hall to prepare a distribution to coincide with the Deepavali festival.
Indians like to use banana trees and leaves and flowers and lanterns, which have become the main theme for our design.
Deepavali is one of the important celebrations for Indians. It is a time when they come together and share and give each other encouragement.
I'm really enjoying it. My children really enjoy it. But unfortunately, my husband can't make it today because his leg is really painful. So I just bring along my children and me.
This year's Deepavali festival is particularly fun, and I would like to thank Tzu Chi, who has been a big help to my family and has led us to stand up again. We can get stronger, otherwise I would not know what to do or how we can get by.
I really got shocked because even I was with the government servant, yet they pay me also, but you all something like out of the book that you all come into my life and support me with contribution.
The event also had a foot washing ceremony for people to honor their parents, bringing more meaning to the Deepavali festival.
I feel the love, we like the care and everything and so on. And I really thank Tzu Chi for this opportunity they gave to me to do this to my mother.
The sound of these coins being donated near the end of the event shows that even these care recipients are eager to give back. At the end, there is an opportunity to get a haircut, as well as a gift package that they could take home to their families to celebrate the Deepavali festival.
Over the long Double 10 holiday weekend, Tzu Chi volunteers and staff members of Guanshan Tzu Chi Hospital went to the mountainous region to visit some solitary seniors. The medical staff not only wanted to check on the seniors' health, but also wanted to offer some spiritual support. Many solitary seniors live in the mountainous regions of Taidong. On holidays, Tzu Chi volunteers and staff of Guanshan Tzu Chi Hospital paid them a visit.
目睭啦，目睭出来点点马蹄。
看到我吗？
系啦。
即马会行了。
即马袂行啦。
即马早起。
当时啊会啦。
会当时是第时。
耳啊嘛轰轰叫。
Among the 16 medical volunteers are 2 TCM interns from Australia and Malaysia. They've come to learn from these senior doctors.
我们今天来看看他们的生活，看看他们那个。
Today we've come to check on their living and health conditions. We want to find out if there are places where we can offer help. We should treat the seniors well, as it is also part of Tzu Chi's humanitarian principles.
关怀，那也是体验到是说我们的慈济人文。
Over the holidays, medical volunteers seized the opportunity to care for those in the remote regions, creating a cycle of love and compassion. In Taiwan, TIMA members work with Taoyuan Tzu Chi volunteers to hold a regular free clinic for the residents at Xiangyu Education and Nursing Institution in Badu District. The clinic provided family medicine, dermatology, and dental services. By serving others, many volunteers learn to cherish their own blessings.
Seeing a dentist once in a while, this resident is in education and nursing institution looks nervous when lying on the dental chair. 7 volunteers stay by his side to comfort him.
It's not easy to conduct dental services here since we have to prepare a lot of equipment. It's also not an easy task to assemble clinical chairs, so if everyone can contribute their efforts, it will help improve the efficiency of this event.
To care for the health of the vulnerable, TIMA members collaborate with Taoyuan Tzu Chi volunteers to hold a regular free clinic at Xiangyu Education and Nursing Institution. Dentist Chen Qingxin has been serving at this clinic for over a decade.
These Tzu Chi brothers and sisters sacrifice their holidays and work diligently to serve the patients. Their attitude really moves me. Every time I come here, I have different feelings and I always feel very happy.
让我觉得非常的快乐。
Every time when the volunteers pay a visit here, they not only care for the residents' health, but also give them spiritual support by organizing group activities so that they don't feel lonely. Today, Drew saw a dentist play games, participated in group activities, and dance. I feel very happy. Thank you, uncles and aunties.
今天要看牙齿，看。
Today I sought medical help at dentistry and dermatology. I also played games and drew. Thank you, aunties and uncles.
谢谢阿姨跟叔叔。
The sincere love of Tzu Chi volunteers is like a ray of sunshine for the residents, and this care will continue to remain in their hearts. TIMA in Taiwan began to hold free clinics for the homeless people since 1998. It started with a health screening for the homeless at Longshan Temple in Taipei. Meanwhile, in central Taiwan, although free clinics for the homeless started later than Taipei, they're held frequently. Here, the homeless people have come to see TIMA members as friends they can confide in. Here is our in-depth report.
I don't have the money to pay for national health insurance. I already owe several $100s in health insurance payments.
对啊，欠了好几万呢。
Awu once lived on the streets being penniless. Now he works part-time sweeping the floor. Compared to other homeless people, he has more stable life.
I want to improve myself. I had a rough life getting out of the prison. Some people are willing to work, while others are unwilling to do it.
The Homeless People Street Cleaning Program has provided job opportunities as they need people to clean the night market every day. However, there's still a lack of manpower, and therefore they hire more people from the service station for the homeless. The homeless people do not have stable places to stay. The only time they gather at the service station for the homeless is when TIMA free clinics are held. On this day, even those who found jobs will come back to help out.
We do not ask for national health insurance cards at the free clinics, both domestic and abroad.
Ji Bangjie is an important figure in TIMA in central Taiwan. Since August of 2010, he has been treating the homeless people 1 day a month. For the homeless people, he's an old friend. As no health insurance cards are required, the homeless people's identities won't be exposed.
Even with those with national health insurance cards, they cannot seek medical attention if they owe monthly fees. Therefore, many homeless people choose to enjoy the pain and illness without seeking medical services.
Therefore, they become more severely ill from delaying the needed treatment. At the free clinic, there are internal medicine, dermatology, dental, ophthalmology, gynecology, and TCM services. Other doctors are offering their expertise and time. Besides treating the homeless people, Ji also helps them find jobs and places to stay.
Homeless people are the poorest among the underprivileged people in the cities.
Tima free clinics for the homeless started in 1998. In January of that year, a health screening was held for the homeless at Longshan Temple. Then in May, a second one was held at Huajian Wild Duck Nature Park. Through such efforts, Tima even collected information about the homeless on behalf of Taipei Bureau of Social Welfare.
Back then, Tima especially served the homeless people.
Li Jiafu has joined Tima's Northern Taiwan chapter for 20 years. The homeless people are willing to share their secrets with him.
No one wants to become homeless. They have their own stories.
Therefore, he understands the hardship the homeless people face.
He has been a victim of domestic violence since a child. His father beat him out when he was 10 and forced him to drink alcohol. Therefore, he became addicted to alcohol since young.
Having discovered the problems, Dr. Lee has held classes for the homeless.
In the early days, we gave them certificates after they completed the 12 classes. Everyone was quite happy about this.
Years later, the young doctor has aged with gray hair. Now, as Tima's Eastern Taiwan chapter distributes aid supplies, it also holds free clinics for the homeless.
They endure their illness, and therefore, usually their illness becomes more severe.
Upon discovering homeless people with more severe illnesses, the medical volunteers refer them to Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital. In the forgotten corners of the society, they continue to deliver love and care to the homeless.
In Fujian of China, Gulangyu Island is known as Garden on the Sea and has been listed as a World Heritage Site in July of this year. Therefore, the local neighborhood committee recently invited Tzu Chi volunteers to promote recycling to the visitors and local residents over the National Day holidays. Xiamen's Gulangyu Island has beautiful scenery and owns the reputation of Garden on the Sea. For each day, a large number of visitors from around the world pour into this island, leading to garbage problems. Local neighborhood committee works with Tzu Chi to promote recycling.
They are promoting environmental protection. We should do what we can to help. If everyone can do something to protect the earth, then the environment of the planet will change.
In July of this year, Gulangyu was successfully listed as a World Heritage Site, so it is urgent to discourage littering on the island. Therefore, Tzu Chi volunteers use the National Day holidays to teach the visitors and local residents how to sort recyclables.
A visitor said they knew the idea of recycling, but they didn't know how to sort recyclables. After we taught them how to practice recycling, they realized that if they throw something into the trash can, then it will become trash. However, if they sort recyclables, then it will become resources.
In addition to teaching residents how to sort recyclables, the volunteers also invite them to adopt a vegetarian diet.
In order to protect the environment, the planet, nature, and our homes, I think it is great to promote this ideal.
You let us understand more about environmental protection and the benefits of going vegetarian. I believe that if we work together to protect the environment in our homes, our world will become a better place to live in the future.
While Gulangyu has a highly developed tourism industry, it also brings garbage problems. It is hoped that after this island becomes a World Heritage Site, it can help raise the environmental awareness of visitors and residents to guarantee the beauty of this island.
Also in China, volunteers in Shandong's Jimo have been actively promoting recycling. They have been holding a recycling activity in the evening 1 day a month since June of this year. Over the past 4 months, the volunteers' efforts have inspired many residents.
The volunteers in Shandong's Jimo has been promoting recycling in the evening for 4 months. Right after sunset, many residents have come to the Tongma Square to do recycling, including this little boy.
I hope my son can promote environmental protection to his kindergarten classmates and tell them to reduce the use of plastic products.
He is Sun Shaoyong, who is the convener of each recycling activity. Although he is a business owner, he always dedicates himself to promoting recycling. He says this is the way that entrepreneurs can repay society.
Starting from changing ourselves and our families, we hope to influence more people and let them know the importance of recycling. Our next step is to promote recycling in the communities.
The volunteers' devotion has gradually influenced the residents of Jimo.
I have joined Tzu Chi for nearly a year. I also start from practicing recycling myself, and then I may invite my relatives and friends to do it after I promote this ideal to them.
In the past, when we went out, we usually bought bottled water, but now I have already gotten used to bringing my own water bottle. Practicing environmental protection is good for ourselves, our children, and even the next generation.
As people work together to practice recycling, they've grown from the experience and will be able to influence more people.
In recent years, women's accomplishments have been frequently discussed to give more encouragement to women in society. The Garden of Hope Foundation holds a Formosa Daughters Award and Asian Girls Human Rights Award ceremony to encourage girls to bravely pursue their dreams.
She is Huang Jingru, who is among the shortlisted candidates for the 5th Asian Girls Human Rights Award. Paying close attention to gender violence and discrimination, Huang launched a special campaign for sexual assault survivors to speak out.
This organization is established not only for the survivors of sexual assault, but also for those who have experienced domestic violence, school bullying, or discrimination. Since they have been harmed and they are unable to speak out, I hope through this campaign they can feel free to express their thoughts. We will also transform their experiences into artwork so that they can be seen in society.
Besides the talent show, these girls who are shortlisted as candidates also have outstanding achievements in mathematics, science and technology, and sports. Liang Yuyan, who comes from Taichung, won the 2nd place in wrestling of this year's National High School Athletic Games. Although she suffers from lupus and she cannot be exposed to the sun, she won the game with her strong will.
I should be energetic and lively so that I can showcase myself.
Actually, if you are willing to invest in girls and give them opportunities, their strength is powerful and their explosive force is beyond our imagination. This way, I believe all of the Taiwanese girls will someday stand on the international stage.
The power of women isn't only shown in their abilities, but also presented in their power and strength, which truly recognizes the value of women.
In Malaysia, a Tzu Chi humanitarian camp was held at the Kuala Lumpur Jingsi Hall, attended by more than 100 pairs of parents and children. Over the course of 3 days, the participants joined a variety of activities which nurture the moral characters of the Tzu Chis. Kuala Lumpur Jingsi Hall has held a humanitarian camp for Tzu Chis and their parents, inviting 3 teachers from Taiwan to lead the activities. The activity's theme is filial piety, and the children get to experience the hardship endured by mothers during pregnancy.
I did not know her feelings before, but I do now. I've realized how much she suffered during pregnancy.
We had a hard time walking while carrying a balloon, which symbolized our child. However, for real mothers, the weight is even heavier.
The parents, who are usually busy with work, have taken the time to participate in the camp with their children. Through the games, they nurture the mutual understanding.
Sometimes we feel that the children's ideas are very unreasonable. That is because they lack the experience. However, we should encourage him rather than rejecting his ideas.
At the camp, there are also mock job interviews which help prepare the Tzu Chis for their future development.
Since I'm hot-headed, I've caused many conflicts at home. Therefore, in the future, I will change the way we communicate and be more gentle.
As the parents and Tzu Chis learn and grow together, they've also become closer to each other. Stirring small beads with a fishing thread is not an easy task for anyone. However, Ling Jia-yi of Malaysia is eager to do this work despite being born without her left eye and having a right eye that underwent cataract surgery. Because of her poor eyesight, she often strings the wrong beads, but she does not feel discouraged. Her skill eventually improved, and while stringing beads, she also opened up her heart.
In the Tzu Chi social education class in Malacca, Malaysia, Ling Jia-yi is very attentive in stringing beads together. When she brings a graph close to her face, other people realize she has an eyesight problem. But still she likes stringing beads together, and she has been learning it for 4 years.
The products shine and are very pretty. I like to look at them up close. If I don't wear the glasses and look at them in a distance, the images are blurry.
Among so many classes, she chose my bead stringing class. Then I asked her why she wanted to attend my class, and she said it was because she liked beads.
Ling Jia-yi always keeps to herself since she was little, and she does not have many friends either. This bead stringing class gives her much joy, so she learns hard even though she keeps making mistakes. But she tries her best to finish every product.
I use my cell phone to take a picture and try to find ways to solve my problems by enlarging the photo and looking at it.
She's able to achieve those very difficult steps, so I really admire her. She has opened herself more. When she listens to us talk, she will laugh too. Sometimes she will say something. She has become more open.
She became satisfied from doing the product herself, and it also makes her more confident.
Tzu Chi Liaison Office in Boston is located inside an old church with an ancient bell tower that needed repairing. Since the bell tower has been a symbol of hope in the community, a restoration project began. To celebrate the completion of the restoration of the bell tower, the volunteers held an office inauguration and blessing ceremony. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.